Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our virtual program talking about solutions to the labor shortage. I think there's, as we all know, we're all struggling with that. Businesses are looking at ways to enhance their opportunities to get talent, and we have a new opportunity with our partner, K Green Card, and it's a solution. It's not the solution, but it's one of hopefully many solutions. So before I introduce our speakers, tell you a little bit about K Green Card. We just entered in a new program, new partnership with those good folks over there, and it's an immigration consulting company that specializes in sourcing foreign nationals to fill labor shortage jobs, both skilled and unskilled, through the EB-3 visa program. Today we have two of the folks involved with that. The principal, Mr. Morley, he's the CEO of K Green Card. Has been involved in this international consulting with international students for the last 20 years, recruiting students to Oshkosh from Vietnam, China, and Korea. Currently, K Green Card is providing services to international students to find employment after graduating from universities here. We also have Marcus Renicky. He is works for K Green Card. He's the Chief Operating Officer and a recent grad from UW Oshkosh, and has a degree and a master's degree in public administration. So with that, I am going to throw it over to Mr. Lee, and he's going to go through the program with us. For those listening in, I'm going to open it up for you all to ask questions as you have them. So, maybe at the end of the program, we will we'll have you ask questions as you have them at that time. We are recording this session, so we'll if you want to go back to it later, you can do that. We'll push it out to our members who weren't able to be here today. So with that, Mr. Lee, you want to take it away?
Good morning. Thank you very much for attending this webinar. My name is Morley, CEO of K Green Card. Also, thank you to the Oshkosh Chamber of Commerce and Mr. John Casper for providing this opportunity. Today, I would like to suggest a unique solution for the labor shortage that Oshkosh is facing. So K Green Card is a foreign worker sourcing agent for employers in Oshkosh. I'm in charge of business planning and employees recruitment, with more than 20 years of experience in education consulting for international students in Central Boarding Academy. Ryan is an immigration lawyer with more than 15 years of experience, and he is in charge of legal advice and filing, including visa and permanent residency. Marcus is a native of the region with a master's degree from Oshkosh, in charge of employer services. First of all, we would like to look at the current state of labor shortage in our area. This graph shows the employment status of Oshkosh and Neenah area in recent years. The blue shows the number of employment demand, and orange shows the number of number of employment supply. The difference between supply and demand can be understood as the total amount of labor shortages in Oshkosh and Neenah area. As you can see, the labor shortage is not a temporary phenomenon caused by the COVID or any specific event. It is a chronic problem in this area. As a solution to the problem, it is important that a stable supply of high quality labor is provided. It would be even better if the problem could be solved at the minimum cost. And the whole process should be transparent and legal as well. We propose to bring foreign workers as a way to solve the problem, considering all of these factors. The US government has already opened up a number of ways for foreign workers to be hired through immigration law to solve the labor shortage of US companies. Among them, we are proposing H-1B, which is a non-immigrant visa, and EB-3 with the 3 different categories, which permanent residency is issued at the final stage of the visa process. H-1B is an employment-based but non-immigrant visa that international student can apply for right after graduating from a 4-year university or graduate school. This visa is granted by lottery to applicants who want to work in a job related to their major in the US. H-1B is initially valid for 3 years and can be renewed once, allowing the employee to work for maximum 6 years. If H-1B holders are fired from the sponsoring company, they must return to their home country unless they can find another H-1B sponsor within 60 days. That is the reason that they want to maintain high work efficiency and loyalty to the company to avoid the termination of a sponsorship. No surprise for most of the big companies to sponsor an H-1B, like a big tech company, Apple, Amazon, and so on, because they want to hire talented specialty workers with a relatively low wages and secure stable employment for the job for up to 6 years. There's only one lottery for H-1B every year. If a candidate applies in April and win, he will start working for the sponsor company from October 1st of the same year. And it will take a total of 6 months to proceed the visa. However, to apply for H-1B, you must have graduated from a 4-year university as of the date of application. And the H-1B application is only made once on April 1st every year. So most of the international students graduating in May are eligible to apply for H-1B the following year. Given this, OPT is usually required to work until H-1B is granted. Many cases, H-1B sponsoring company also sponsors OPT first. Foreign workers employed by H-1B may request their employer to sponsor the EB-3 professionals in order to obtain permanent residency even before H-1B expired. Another employment-based visa is the EB-3 with the 3 different categories. Those are EB-3 professionals, EB-3 skilled, and EB-3 unskilled. First of all, EB-3 professionals. This visa process takes about 1 to 1.5 years. And it is visa that can be applied by whom graduated from a 4-year university or higher. They can apply for specialty level occupations related to their major. While the eligibility of this visa is the same as for the H-1B, it is difficult for international students to apply for an EB-3 professionals as soon as they graduate from university, because the visa process takes much longer and the ability to maintain legal status to work in the United States until the green card is issued is extremely limited. Thus, it is common to start work with H-1B visa first and ask employer to sponsor an EB-3 professionals to obtain permanent residence later. Yeah, this EB-3 skilled. To apply for EB-3 skilled, you must have at least 2 years of work experience in the job you are applying for. In many cases, it is very difficult to qualify for the eligibility of application for this category because job positions in foreign countries do not exactly match the positions in the United States. Yeah, EB-3 unskilled. Most of the employers in US can hire foreign workers for entry-level position under this visa category, as long as the job position can be proved in a labor shortages. And there's no specific qualification for the eligibility of the applicants as well. Yeah, this is the EB-3 green card flow chart. EB-3 process is rather complicated and takes about 1.5 years. However, most of the legal and filing process will be handled by K Green Card. So first, the start of this process is to discover and select the employers through a job site visiting or webinar like today. The next step begins by matching the employee with the employer and applying to the Department of Labor for prevailing wage decision of the job position offered by employer. And here as newspaper advertisement in accordance with the law must prove that the job for which the employer is applying is experiencing a labor shortage due to the lack of application from U.S. citizens. So you can think of it. As a outdated immigration law that cannot actually attract even a single applicant through this kind of ads. And once the permission for the employer to hire foreign workers is granted, the immigration process of the employee starts from that point. Once the employee obtains permanent residency through this process, the employee will start working for the sponsoring employer from then on. Now, this is a practical suggestion for what type of visa is the best fit for Oshkosh to bring foreign workers. It is difficult to recommend EB-3 skilled category, as I mentioned before, because it is hard to match the job experience of foreign workers with a job demanded by the employer. So if you want to hire specialty worker with a university graduate or higher, and consider relatively long-term employment, first, you want to sponsor OPT and H-1B for them to start the work. And if you want to keep this employee for more than 6 years, it is recommended to switch to EB-3 professional from H-1B at the end of the H-1B expiration. And if you need an employee for an entry-level job position, and you are looking for a worker who can work for at least 1 year, we recommend that you sponsor an EB-3 Unskilled visa. The H-1B is preferred by finance, high value added service, and tech companies. EB-3 Unskilled is widely used as a recruitment channel for foreign workers in nationwide chain restaurants, meat processing industry, and manufacturers. The purpose of EB-3 or H-1B is not an immigration policy intended to fill the labor shortage of these large corporations, but a system prepared for small and medium-sized enterprises. But unfortunately, there are not many SMEs that benefit for this. The lack of access to this kind of information and the lack of agents like us will also be a factors. Many of Oshkosh companies may be interested in EB-3 Unskilled. Then what kind of employee will be hired through this visa process? We understand that the eligibility of the EB-3 Unskilled category is open to anyone, 18 years old or older. However, the K Green Card is targeting mainly Korean international students attending US university who are very motivated and are mostly well-disciplined with a high English proficiency. So most international students misunderstand that H-1B is the only way to get a job in the United States. Moreover, it is difficult to find an H-1B sponsor here, and H-1B acquisition rate compared to the number of Korean students in US is significantly lower than that of India or China. According to statistics, about 90% of Korean students are returning to Korea because they cannot obtain H-1B. So we are consulting them to go through the EB-3 Unskilled process and try to obtain permanent residence while attending university. They are very excited that they can even complete 1 year of compulsory employment for sponsoring company even before graduation. So in order to recruit applicants for this program, we are pursuing a strategic alliance with the Korean student associations which are located on most of the US universities. In addition, we plan to hold a face-to-face information session of a job fair or webinar for each campus. Lastly, we are building a network for hundreds of CPA graduates who are already attending US universities with a referral system. To support the smooth relocation of employees coming through this visa process, UW Oshkosh has committed to providing housing for these EB-3 employees. And also, K Green Card will also provide its own transportation to and from the work. And we will listen to their grievances, provide various services for their convenience, and play a role in resolving and reconciling complaints that may arise between employers and employees. Yeah, what is a visa sponsor eligibility? So employers, sorry, employers must demonstrate financial ability to hire new employees. Companies with fewer than 100 employees submit financial statement, such as 1120. And companies with more than 100 employees are simply assessed by their own letter. Also, we need to prove that the job for which you are hiring foreign worker is in the category of a labor shortage. And when you apply for the first time, you need to wait about a year and a half. After a year and a half, depending on your additional demand of foreign workers, new foreign workers are put in every month or every quarter. So there's no need to wait for a long period of time anymore after that. All an employee has to do is to fill out a simple questionnaire, that's it. And once the employee's green card is issued, you secure the job position offered for this visa process. Those are all you need to do for this process. There's no cost involved in employer at all, and we do all the paperwork for you. There's no follow-up report or inspection by the immigration office in relation to permanent residency of the employee at all. As a result, K Green Card provides high quality labor, so employers can establish long-term stable employment plans and also significantly reduce the effort and cost of HR. That is the benefit you can gain, and we can guarantee through this unique solution. Now, thank you very much for listening for a long time. If you have any question, we will sincerely answer for that. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to, I guess, unmute the folks that are on the call with us. And if they have any questions, I gave you the opportunity to ask those questions. So now is a good time to do it. I guess our first question may be, so if an employer is looking to connect with you folks and talk a little bit more about it, what is that process, and what will you do at that point?
Can you tell, Marcus?
Yeah, so if they want to reach out to us, we can either do a Zoom meeting to establish that connection, or we are more than welcome to come to their location. We can talk to them about kind of how and go through the process of finding individuals. But the biggest steps are really just, one, letting us know you're interested, two, filling out that form, and depending on the size of your company with staff, submitting the right documentation, either the letter or the tax.
So, and maybe I missed it. So from start to actually placing somebody, how long is that process?
So a lot of this is dependent on the government. So we can't specifically tell you exactly, but we can give you a range. So depending on the government, as it is now, they were told 18 to 26 months for the first wave. Now keep in mind, once you get all your documentation in and you submit all of that, the clock starts ticking. After that 18 to 26 months, you could have people coming in monthly or quarterly much quicker, Because say you start with us, you say, okay, we have 10 openings. We'll say, okay, so we start doing the recruiting. The 18 to 20 months is up. And then from that point, whenever that new applicant is in the process, they could be coming, monthly to fill the job that they need to fill. So it's initial wait, but then once they get here, keep in mind, you're not paying anything for the wait time. You're literally just, it's a labor shortage. You're having the issue for 5 years. So we can help fill that issue.
All right. Any other questions, folks? That doesn't look like there's any. Again, we recorded this, so we'll be pushing this thing out to other members, and should be posted on our website, sometime early this afternoon. So you'll be looking for that. Again, thank you very much, Mr. Lee and Marcus, for joining us, and we'll be doing more of these. I think the weather had. I don't know if it froze up Zoom lines or or people couldn't get into the office on time today, but we will do more of these in the upcoming weeks ahead in the new year. So again, thanks for joining us, and if
All right, sounds good. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
If anyone has questions, reach out to us, and we'll connect you up with K Green Card. So with that, we will see you all later.
All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good one.